I'm Diego Sanchez, president of HousingWire, and this is 10-Minute Talks. My guest today is Mosi Gatling, SVP of Growth at New American Funding. Mo, welcome to 10-Minute Talks.
Thank you for having me, Diego, and HousingWire. I appreciate it so much.
Before we dive in, could you give a 60-second introduction of yourself and your role at New American Funding?
Yes. Here at New American Funding, I am the SVP of Strategic Growth and Expansion, like you were describing before. My role here is to really dig deep and work on the strategy from the sales side of things when it comes to LOs and originators, and how we're really connecting with our, let's say, community in general, community at large. That's going to be the consumer, home builders, real estate companies, and things of that nature. And really trying to focus on growth when it comes to that, but also really the growth of the people that we're talking to internally.
So talk to me a little bit more about those different constituencies, because that's a lot of different folks that make up the customer base that you're thinking about.
Yeah, I feel like we have to think that way. We go out every day, and of course, doing mortgages, our job is to serve the consumer. Starting with the consumer, really to connect with them on an authentic level. I feel that being in mortgage, I've been in mortgage quite a long time, and being able to connect with the consumer is more than just popping faces on and off of flyers, keeping the verbiage the same. It's not in the past been a real authentic approach with resonating with who our community is. I love the fact that NAF is so different. And when I say different, I mean our leadership, from our leadership all the way down. We have people from different backgrounds, diverse backgrounds, and being able to really connect with people, I think, is based on lived experience. So we have all this great lived experience here, and being able to go out and connect with the people that are going to take out the loans, the people that are serving the consumer by showing them homes and also selling the homes. It makes us a little bit weird, crazy, and different in a good way.
From your perspective, why is it important to have diversity on the team? You know, diversity in race, diversity in gender, sexual orientation, politics, you name it. Why is that important to have different perspectives on the team?
Wow, so crucial and important. I feel I might be one of the best examples ever. My trajectory in the business is different. Basically, I am a woman. I am diverse. So let's say I check two of the boxes right there. In saying that is, when I got into the business, I didn't have the same background as a lot of people that came before me. So when I would sit in classrooms or coaching or conferences, people talking about how they got their business didn't resonate with me at all. It wasn't where I was. It wasn't my sphere of influence. My dad didn't have somebody that was a friend in the business to give me a job or to give me leads or to have me work somewhere. I just, no golf buddies. My dad never golfed. Okay. I started golfing more recently, but I think it takes for you to have, there's not a lot of diversity in golf already in general. So let's speak that lived experience. So someone that maybe I look like, or we came from similar backgrounds, or being a woman, maybe we have more things in common than you would think. And I can speak to them in a manner that might really help them grow their business organically. And if you're not in an environment that offers that, you might be missing out. It's one of the things that I do love about HousingWire's conferences, because you guys make sure there's diversity in who's speaking, who's there. So there's something there for everybody. And I'm being very particular about where I'm showing up in 2024 and 2025, because I do need to focus on business things, and conferences and all education things are going to be important to me to look like the people I will serve or the people that I'm working for internally.
Yeah, I agree. It feels so important, especially if you think about, some stats that we've recently seen, like single women are buying more homes than single men, right? Hispanic, Latino home ownership is booming, right? And so, more and more we're going to see sort of the minority flip to the majority in a lot of ways. And so if you're not looking like the folks that you're selling to and that you're doing business with, I think you're going to be at a disadvantage.
Absolutely. And when you are everybody's always talked for years and years about how do we hire a more diverse workforce? How do we get more Black and Hispanic originators? It's easy. Make your leadership look like it. Because when your leadership looks like it and they can speak about their trajectory of getting into the business and getting where they were, it's going to resonate. You're going to have solutions that come out to meet those people exactly where they are, which in turn means if it starts at the top, it's going to filter down all the way out to the consumer. And like I said, this is how we touch real estate agents and other builders. It's like, I have the tools that it takes to sell homes to the very people you're building them for, the people that will be the majority going forward. And if you don't have that space, you have to just be grabbing the information from statistics or a friend told you. I mean, it's not real, organic, lived experiences. And we know consumers have choice. So if you're getting mortgages right now and you're getting a high number of Black or Hispanic, is it really authentic? Imagine if you started being more authentic just because you have the lived experience from cradle to grave on the loan. I come from, of course, an originator background. So I'm able to really dial in on that part. And being in Vegas, I do have that Black and Hispanic majority that's been my business and really can speak to it. Not from a report, but actually because I spoke to someone earlier this morning that needs a loan.
Yeah, I love that. So you recently joined New American Funding after, a pretty long career originating and then being in leadership in various roles. What excites you about New American Funding and specifically your role there?
I think here at New American, I love that we're different. I love that the president of the company is a woman. I love that our co-founders, it's a male and a female. Again, it's that perspective, that lived experience. I love that Patty and Rick want everybody to literally live in who they are working here. So they let me be 100% Mo. That's the greatest part about it. 100% Mo all the time. And I don't have to dial it down because it makes people can learn from the lived experience and what I've had to go through and the things that I bring to the table. And I think it's exciting to be able to create from that vantage point. Patty being Hispanic, our president being female, me being a Black woman, man, we get together in a room and it's just sparks flying when we're talking about strategy, when we're talking about how to enhance and grow the people that work here. I do feel growth is fluid in that way because some people label growth as just external and hiring bodies and people. There's a way with the way we have our leadership positioned to be able to do that. But I feel that people need growth too, or else you have a lot of attrition. People leave. There's not something where they're at for them that speaks literally to them.
So is your focus, in these first couple of years going to be more on that internal growth? Or are you also working on external growth, recruiting more teams? New American Funding recently did some M&A. Like, where does your role take you in the next year or two?
In the next year or two, internal, growing the people that work here for sure is number one, because that's how we get the great people we have to remain here, by giving them a diverse and widened spectrum of offering for programs, reach, and ability. Also externally too, I'll be doing some recruiting. Like I said, I want to lend my lived experience. A lot of people always say, hey, what would you tell your 20-year-old self if you could tell her something? Well, since I can't, and I'm more of a realist, I know I can lend that experience to somebody else and maybe help them grow their business in a different way than they ever thought of. I will do that recruiting. M&A, not so much with me being personally involved, but I know that if it was a good fit, that New American would be open to it. But it has to be a good fit for us and the culture and what we already have going on.
So we recently met in person at the Gathering, which was an event that we had in Scottsdale recently. And there were several lenders there that were very forward about how they're planning to grow right now, even though it's a difficult housing market. So how do you plan on competing with some of those other lenders that are also looking to take market share right now? What differentiates New American Funding when it comes to taking market share?
Taking market share, I think that going out and directly comparing us, I literally feel, and I think that the people that look to us for solutions like home builders and real estate agents, I feel that the overwhelming response from them is that they feel that most mortgage companies are pretty similar. So to go out and try to have some, I don't know, fight over who's going to get more, who's going to get less, it needs to be more of that organic approach that we were just talking about. Really making sure that we keep our culture intact, continue to grow it, be better people internally, and really have a great place where people want to stay and be, and not get into the weeds of things when it comes to how are we going to beat this person or that. I don't feel that's really our game. Our game is to be the best we can be internally and make sure that we, if that shines outward, I think that we're going to recruit people. Even if people go somewhere else, after leaving here, they're going to find that it's not the same.
Mo, that's 10 minutes. It went really fast. And I really appreciate you joining me today and having this wonderful conversation.
Thank you so much, Diego. Like I said, I appreciate you and the HousingWire family so much.